So you're wondering if you should buy Battlefield 6. You're on the fence. Or you just want to hear my opinion as someone that's put in a good number of hours since the game came out. Well, if you clicked on this video, my answer is probably, if you're on the fence. Before I dive any deeper into the game and my experience so far, there are like a few questions, you should ask yourself, or I would ask you, like, do you have friends playing Battlefield 6? Do you enjoy first-person shooter games? Again, probably if you clicked on this video. Think about what was your previous experience with Battlefield games? How important is $70 to me? I imagine any day now, depending on when you click on this video, there'll be sales here and there, and then eventually it'll be a $20 game, but you're probably not watching this video when it gets that cheap. Yeah, those are a few things to consider for your own situation, if you're on the fence. But yeah, getting into my experience, I've really enjoyed the game, played it probably more than I should. Definitely put off some things in my life to get some more hours of Battlefield 6 in. And the only other Battlefield I've played is Battlefield 3. And that was like 13 years ago now, 14 years ago. And I didn't play it much. I do think Battlefield 6 is better. It's nice being able to spawn closer to battle. Like, that's one of the things with the Battlefield 3 that I remember, just running into the battle. It was just too long. I'm sure it also depends on what game mode you were playing. I don't really know or really remember. I think there was a couple of objectives that would change periodically. But yeah, again, that was many years ago. Haven't played any other Battlefields. I've watched 4. I've watched a lot of Battlefield 1. I believe that was World War II one. And then I'll say this too. Everyone compares Battlefield 6 to Call of Duty. But really, when I play Battlefield 6, and even talking about it, thinking about it now, I don't really think of Call of Duty at all. I think more, I feel like I'm playing more of like a Rainbow Six or even Rogue Company. And I know you guys will be like, well, Rogue Company, that's third person point of view. That's, 4-on-4 one life. But like, they're both tactical. If you're just running around, bouncing off walls, going crazy, that's more Call of Duty. You're gonna get picked off by someone sooner or later. So yeah, I really don't recommend that. You gotta be more tactical. I'm not saying you're quite as slow and as tactical in Rainbow Six or Rogue Company, just because those games, again, it's typically in the typical game modes, you spawn, you have the one life, and then you're done till the end of the round. Where, again, Battlefield 6, there's respawning, so it's not the end of the world if you die. If you're just running, like, you'll get so sick of seeing that screen of your character dying over and over. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Again, I see why people compare them, because they're both first-person shooters, big studios. I know the guy that originally created Infinity Ward and Call of Duty, Vince Zampella, now worked on this Battlefield 6. That was kind of the cherry on top of why I wanted to play this game, to see what he had. I don't really know how much he changed, because again, I don't feel like I'm playing Call of Duty, even the older ones. There's no vehicles or buildings that you can destroy in Call of Duty. Instead of perks, you can choose between 4 classes in Battlefield 6. Assault, support, engineer, and recon. I would argue that they're all necessary to win. I play mostly assault and a lot of support, just because I like the quick revive. As I played more, I need to experiment with engineer, just because I am starting to like the vehicles, just using them more. They're also not really that hard to use for any beginners out there. I mean, I figured it out. It's not driving those things, it's not the prettiest, but I've figured it out. But again, I think they're all necessary to win, because if you, again, engineer, if you don't have any engineers, I've spawned in late into games, the team's just getting destroyed. You have the other team with their 2 tanks you know, they have all, like in Conquest, they have all the objectives, and they basically have you trapped in spawn, thanks to tanks being on either of the ways to like get out of the headquarters. And again, you need to be engineered typically to take out tanks. Recon, very helpful for marking guys. I can't tell you how many times, I'm getting better at it, but I can't tell you how many times I've thought my own guy is an enemy, and how many times I've thought an enemy is a good guy, or I mean a guy on my team. Just with the recon, you'll get the red dot on top of the enemy, and that's so helpful from further away and stuff. And it's really not that hard to do it with the recon drones. And also too, I'm not saying that to complain about Battlefield 6. Oh, tanks are overpowered. I'm just saying that you got to have balance in all the different types too. And then like I've played on matches where I feel like I'm the only one reviving people, and sure, for me it's a great feeling getting all these revives points, you know, the dopamine to the brain. Yeah, you know, then it's like when I'm not around, no one's getting picked up. I wish I got picked up more in Battlefield 6. There's definitely times where I'm definitely in a spot where someone could do it and they just walk by, or they just sit there and watch me bleed out. So yeah, not very helpful. Otherwise, there's not too much I would change about this game. Maybe in the Conquest mode, my favorite mode, you know, have less objectives, or a mix of smaller maps with less objectives would be fun, because the best battles are when tons of players are there. I've also played where like both the teams are just running in circles, capturing points, and there's no real fighting. So again, not trying to trash on the game, but once in a while there's just a weird game on Conquest where I feel like I'm just running into one-on-ones, not big team fights, or I'm just not running into any battles at all, but capturing points with other people, you know, because I play support and I try to stay by my team to pick them up before someone just comments, "Well, just go run on your own." You know, I don't want 1 on 32, but 32 on 32 would be cool. So yeah, again, with tons of players, it's not an experience you can get in many other FPS games. Maybe another change would have to deal with the buildings. So like they are destructible, but like it does take some time. I wish there was an easier way to take buildings down, and I get it. Based on, you know, Conquest, where some of the objectives are, you gotta limit how much destruction there can be, or else there just isn't going to be any kind of point to take down, or it's going to be floating in midair or whatever. But yeah, it would just be nice if there was buildings in general that you could easily just take down, and maybe if there was a way to unlock like a mortar strike, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and take out a building, that would be really cool. That's kind of an idea I'm stealing from a game called Block and Load that I've never heard of. I mean, it'd be also be helpful because it can be annoying at times when there's a bunch of snipers on a roof, or just a few, and it's like, okay, now I can't go all this way because I know, you know, they're just gonna be sitting up there waiting for me. But with some kind of mortar strike, or again, if I could take out the building some easier way, that'd be a nice way to get them. And sometimes too, they'll be a ways away from a tank or a map where, yeah, there just is no tank, or I can't get a tank there, etc. Take them out. Otherwise, those are my thoughts on Battlefield 6. Again, it's a lot of just, you get what you see. It's pretty straightforward. It's not hiding anything. It's no trick. You know, I give the game like an 8.5 out of 10. Like, it's not a game in 5 to 10 years we're gonna be trashing, but I don't know if it's a game we're gonna be talking about as like an all-time great. But it's good. It's solid. If you are someone that plays or want to play, you know, I'm always looking for more people to play with. Drop a sub, and yeah, you'll know when I go live. And obviously, yeah, then you'll know when I'm playing Battlefield 6. Because, yeah, I do plan to play this game a whole lot more. I should also add in the Battlefield Battle Royale Red Sick. I haven't touched yet. I'm still just having so much fun with just the regular multiplayer. Then, yeah, I just been playing that. Otherwise, yeah, leave a comment. Let me know on what you are thinking so far about Battlefield 6. Peace.